A warm welcome to everyone who just joined us. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, a place where the right message reaches you. And now I am going to show you guys our Wheel of Wisdom. Okay, yeah. So, this is our lovely Wheel of Wisdom. And as you guys can see, this wheel contains the name of 51 transformational books. Out of all the books that I've read, the ones that I found, that I loved most. So I have read these books over the, period of 10 years. And now what we are going to do is I invite you guys to take a moment and ask yourself, what do I need guidance on today? And see if something specific emerges for you. Hi, David. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to the space. It's nice to have you here. And in case you missed the practice, we did like a 2 minute morning meditation today, which was inspired from ACT therapy. So it was designed to help you focus on, being your best self, being the person you want to be today. So yeah, if you feel called to, you know, give it a try, let me know. And I will publish this as a meditation, maybe in the coming week. Bob says, Morning, Anisha. Sorry I'm late. Bob, love to you. Hi, Bob. Welcome back again. Nice to have you here. And that's all right. You're just in time for our first reading. So we were just about to spin the wheel. And okay, I'm seeing a lot of 12s right now. Like now I'm seeing 12 minutes, since this live started. So yeah, okay. First, let me search what is the universe trying to tell me and all of us here right now. What is the message that wants to come? Okay. So angel number 1212 is a powerful spiritual message urging you to trust your journey, step out of your comfort zone, and embrace new beginnings. So, that is the message that wants to come through. Trust our journey, step out of our comfort zone, and embrace new beginnings. So, in case anyone needed that, I'm taking in that with an open heart. And now, I hope by now you guys have thought of something that you need guidance or support regarding. So, holding that in your awareness as we spin the wheel. Okay, so the book that came for all of us is No Time Like the Present. So true, right? No Time Like the Present. And this book has been written by Jack Kornfield. So let me open this beautiful book for all of you beautiful guys. So just a second. No time like the present. Okay, so this is our lovely book. No time like the present. And now, let's see what is the present that wants to arrive in our life from the universe. So, I'm choosing some numbers so that we can play a game together. Okay, so I invite you guys to pick a number between. Okay, let me check it again. Here you go, between 15 to 185. And again, for those who are new, the instructions for this game is take your time to see which number pops up first in your mind, share it in the comments. I will go through all your comments, all the numbers, and pick one that I feel intuitively called to. Okay, Bob says, normally I am at yoga on a Friday. I was doing a visualization during this, a fox appeared, looking if it wanted me to follow. When it ended, I went into the kitchen and there was a vixen in the drive. Okay, I don't know what a vixen is, so let me first Google it and then I will, respond appropriately to your comment. Okay, just a second. Okay, a female fox. Okay. Wow, interesting. What an interesting encounter, Bob. Thank you for, I don't know, adding some magic to the space and, maybe bringing that spirit animal with you in the space. I hope that we all feel guided by, our spirit animals today. Bob says, I think you recommended a book on 100 reasons to carry on. Over the last week, I have been in three charity shops and seen it there, and also in the library. Oh my goodness. So, Bob, I see that as a sign that the universe, you know, is supporting you. It is letting you know that the support is here and you just need to trust it. You just need to trust your journey and, for the new beginning, the message that we just got. So I hope that you trust all these signs and you keep going on. And maybe you buy that book and give it a try, see if something, really clicks for you from that book. So thank you so much for, sharing both of these beautiful instances from your life. I appreciate it. And it's nice, it's really nice to have you here. Okay. Susan says, 155, I need guidance. Okay, Susan, so hold whatever it is you need guidance on in your mind. And let's see if that's the number that I feel called to. And even if it isn't, maybe the guidance wants to come through from someone else's number. Hi, Caitlin. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Thank you for sharing the number. And I so appreciate you being here, Caitlin. I know, so thank you for figuring it out that how much time you're going to spend with Nicole and then how much with me. We both love you very much. Bob says, definitely, I have got it here. Okay, you bought it. Ah, amazing, amazing, wonderful. Um, Bob is sending some support to Susan. Beautiful. Okay, guys. Anyone else who wants to choose a number between 15 to 185? Okay, thank you, Bob. So we have Susan, Caitlin, and Bob's number. Anyone else before I pick one amongst these? Okay, thank you, Yas. And if I'm mispronouncing your name, feel free to correct me. I would love to pronounce your beautiful names correctly. Byron says, I feel the number 100. Thank you, Byron, for sharing, for, listening to your inner voice and sharing it. Okay, so we have five numbers, I think. Anyone else? Okay, thank you, David. Thank you for choosing a number. Okay, so I hope by now you guys have shared. Anyone who wanted to share a number, and let's pick one now. Oh, interesting. Caitlin says, I almost said 58, but then said 76. Okay. So Mm, I was feeling called to 74, but maybe let's do both because that number appeared for both of you, David and Caitlin, 58. And let's also do 74. Okay, so two numbers for this. Okay, give me a second to open this beautiful book and then we will do Yas's number and David's number and Caitlin's number. Okay, so let's go with page number 58 first. Okay, and whoever thought I didn't choose their number, I guess the first line is that that's for you. Meaning, okay, so whoever number I choose is, if you are here, the message is for you. Okay, so keep an open heart and just allow that to arrive within you. Okay, Yas also loves, that I chose this number. Okay, so the author says, living here and now brings beauty and mystery. Watch how children play. They know they will be called home, yet they give themselves fully to their adventures. That gave me goosebumps. Okay. You too will be called, as we all will. But for now, why not live fully awake, fully inhabiting the present? You can plant seeds for a future that will unfold in due season. So, David, Caitlin, and anyone else who feel called to page number 58 or this reading, that is the invitation from the universe for you to live fully right now. We all will be called someday, whether it if we are referring to, the ultimate destination, like, whether we are referring to death or whether we are referring to future, because we are always living in the future. Our mind are, most of the times running towards the future. What I need to do to get there, what if that happens, and all of that. So the future will arrive, the ultimate end would also arrive. But right now, can you please live in the here and now? Can you live like children's do, being fully in their adventures, in their game, without worrying about when that would be over, without worrying about, when they would be called? So live here now fully, and this would become a beautiful memory to cherish. This would become something that fills your heart with joy, with love. So, yeah, the invitation is to come to the present moment and live here fully like children's. And if you need some help regarding that, I do have a beautiful course that I created just on this particular theme. And the name of it is The Art of Noticing How to Find Joy, Peace, and Beauty in Your Daily Life. So, if you know, want to find some meaning, if you want to feel alive, if you want to connect with the beauty and mystery of this present moment, then maybe give this a try. I have a lot of wonderful practices here, simple ones, nothing you need to change, but something that would help you arrive in the present. David says, thank you. I needed to hear this today. I'm glad that it resonated with you, David. And I hope that maybe today you take that first step to live here fully. Okay, so now comes our second. Oh, we have a comment from Caitlin as well. Let me, read it and then we will move to Yas's number. So yeah, Caitlin says, I felt the overarching theme of the big call from universe, but more literal. being a wife and mom and doing all the fussing and the things and literally getting called and summoned for tasks or notifications, even being with what you are doing, being in your current moment, moment to moment. I love, Caitlin, how you put it into a more practical scenario. As you know, the moms are the ones who are like very frequently called. Everyone calls them like, wifey or mom, where's this, where's that, can you help me with this, and so on and so forth. And and I can like in a way relate to this because now I'm handling all those duties in my home. So yeah, I understand. And then you are rushing from one thing to the next thing. So I love how you took this reading and put it into more practical use, more practical advice as to how to be with what you are doing fully in the current moment. So thank you, Caitlin, for sharing that. Bob says, this is what my wife's illness and death taught me. As a druid, I now exist within each half day. Thank you, Bob, for sharing such, for sharing the lesson that you have gained from the such like an important incident in your life. And I hope that you carry this lesson with you every day, knowing that, you know, this is the moment and all you need to do now is to live it fully, whether it feels unpleasant or whether it feels pleasant. When it feels unpleasant, you can lean more on the supports, and when it feels present, letting it arrive fully in your heart, like that fox thing that happened, letting that like magical incident arrive in your heart fully, letting it touch it, letting it warm it from within, and experiencing what living feels like right now in this moment, for being what being alive in this moment feels like. And maybe life will, surprise you even more with some beautiful blessings that it sends your way. So, thank you for sharing that. Okay, guys, so now it's time for our second reading. And we are going to do it from the same book. And the page number that we're going to go to is page number 74, which he has chose for us. So let me open it. Give me a second to drink some water first. Hmm, okay. So the author says, forgiving yourself and another. So that is like the message, the heading, sorry. And the message, the author says that when my marriage of nearly 30 years ended, I felt shocked and at sea. Liana had been the love of my life, and I had imagined we would be married until the end of our lives. But in the decade after our beloved daughter went off to college, I began to travel more, and my wife told me she wanted more time for her painting and herself. Our needs diverged, and even when we were together, it was clear we weren't making each other happy. I was under the delusion that if I tried harder to make her happy, in the bracket, not a wise strategy, I would become happier myself. In the end, we decided the best thing was to separate. This was the beginning of a long inner process. I found myself repeatedly reviewing the whole 30 years. I wanted to understand what had been good and where I had gone wrong. Sometimes looking back felt obsessive, sometimes confusing, sometimes infuriating. It took all of my training in mindfulness and compassion to weather those painful years, and it demanded forgiveness of myself for my mistakes and expectations and projections. Equally, it demanded a forgiveness of my ex wife. It took deep, repeated practice, for as I forgave one thing of myself or her, another memory or difficulty would arise, and I would breathe and go into the pain and finally say, "This too." While the profound process of review and feeling each loss was critical, and I had to willingly honor the particulars of our marriage and its end. That was not enough. Feeling distraught was still easily triggered. It felt like a never ending cycle. What forgiveness was asking of me was bigger and wiser. I had to hold the whole human dance, all marriages and divorces, and especially my own, all human forms of love with their idealism and pain, their elevation and failure, their tenderness and brokenheartedness with forgiveness. For myself, for my ex wife, for everyone we had known and shared our lives with and loved. I had to let it all be okay and realize this does not define me. How could a teacher of mindfulness and loving kindness be getting divorced? I was asked. Like a human being, that's how. Outwardly, as our life unfolds, we take on multitudes of identities and roles. As Shakespeare describes, one man in his lifetime plays many parts. As we strut and fret our hour upon the stage, we are taught to play the roles given us year by year: child and student, employee and lover, parent and professional, patient and healer. But these roles are not our true identities, and we can learn to see beyond them. So, the message that is coming up for me from this reading is that if you feel, you know, solely defined by a certain role or a certain label that you have assigned to yourself, or if one particular area of your life is a mess, then remember that there is more to you and there is more to your life. That particular role, that particular label, that particular area of your life do not color the whole picture. There is so much more that you are not seeing. And, you know, and the invitation is to broaden your perspective and take that into account as well. So maybe you are, for example, a mom, but you might be something else also. That role does not define your whole self, your full self. Similarly, if one area of your life is a mess, like your career, for example, then there are other areas of your life that might be doing well, like your relationships, like your, self care, your inner work, and so on. So do not let one particular role, label, area color the whole of you and the whole of life, thinking that if this is bad, then the whole life is bad. If I lack this, then I lack everything, So just take a bigger picture into your heart and let it give you hope, let it give you the encouragement, whatever it is that you need to go on, to continue, to move forward. And if you need to forgive yourself or anyone else in the process, that can help you move forward, because carrying the anger and resentment is just like dead weight, and you are just walking that dead weight on your journey. So you need to drop it if it is stopping you from moving forward. So if you need that, maybe cut the cord and drop that weight so you can move forward and live your life fully, expand into all of yourself, and expand into, you know, like cherish all the other areas of your life. So that was the message that came up for me. So yes, whose number we chose uh came up here. Sorry, his comment came up here. So yes, says, thank you, dear Anisha. My goodness, as if it talks about me. I have had a 30 years marriage which ended last year. I know, what does this mean? I don't know, what does this mean? You know, as the author shares here, that trying to figure out what does that mean, what does that mean about you as a husband, what does that mean about your wife as a wife, and what does, instead of trying to figure that out, like why that happened, what does that mean, what I did wrong, what was right, instead of going and obsessing over the past, maybe right now, what is going to be the next step that would help you move forward? Maybe that can be something that you can reflect on right now. So instead of getting stuck in the past, focusing more on the present, and sowing the seed for the future, as our previous reading shared. So that can be one of those things. And then forgiveness, if you need that to move forward. So moving in that direction, if one thing has ended, it doesn't necessarily have to mean something about you. Our mind, it is natural for us to think that way, because our mind tries to find interpretation, meaning, and all of that. But, you know, that is not often helpful. So, thinking whatever you are thinking about, is it helping you right now, or is it making you feel even more worse? Is it, stopping you from moving forward, from processing whatever is happening? It's not just about moving forward as well, it's also about processing. And then, if it is not helpful, then maybe it is time to drop it in whatever way that makes sense for you. And yes, if I'm sorry to hear about that marriage and ending. It might have been very hard for you. And okay, let me think. Okay. And I hope that this particular resource might be able to help you. Um, so, in this course, which is called The Art of Acceptance, Finding Peace When Life Doesn't Go Your Way. So, in this, I have included certain, like step by step a step by step process for you to understand, to gain more clarity about your situation, to help you process that emotionally rather than just jumping logically to the next thing. So, processing that emotionally, being there for yourself in this hard moment, and then also moving forward after it, after you process all of that. So, I hope that this, serves you in some way. So, if that resonates, you can check it out. Susan says, I'm so alone and lonely. I try to move forward, but very sad. Um, I hug to you, Susan, firstly. We all go through hard times, and, you know, maybe connecting to other people who are going through, such a time with your particular situation might help you feel less alone. And again, pointing you towards the same resource, in terms of moving forward and also being very sad. It's okay for you to be sad if you have faced any loss. So you can go through the resource, process those emotions, and then take small steps, towards moving forward. So I hope that this resource serves both of you and anyone else who wants some guidance or support regarding that. And now moving to the, next reading, or maybe the last one. Rose says, I felt that way at the last 5 years of my 24 years marriage. It was hard, but 9 years later, I'm so glad not to be in the marriage. Life goes on and it can actually be better. I so, you know, appreciate you sharing that here, Rose, giving hope, just like. So this is what I meant, Susan, when I said that connecting with people who is going through that, who has gone through that, because that might help you give some perspective. Because when something is crumbling, it feels like I would be just buried beneath it and there is nothing else. But, your life is not over, and that means something. You know, you will find meaning, you will find purpose, you will find joy and happiness again. It just might take certain steps, it might just take some time. Again, time alone won't do it, but you also taking some steps in that direction might help. So I'm really glad that, Rose shared from her experience that, things can actually be better when we think that this has fallen apart and now everything is going down the drain. There is, we think that our mind thinks that, but in from that time something beautiful might also emerge that we never even thought about, something that we really needed, something that fits us better. So give life a chance to deliver that to you. And yeah, and Rose, you're very strong to go have gone through all of that and then to emerge with this, you know um in a way grateful perspective that I'm glad that happened and I'm done with it, and now in my life I'm doing better. I'm happy to hear that you're doing better, Rose. So thank you for that share, really. Um, and now let us do one last reading. Caitlin says, divorced here too. So much for the better now. At the time, it was tragic, and I went into shock. And life keeps going. We reevaluate and process and reframe and move on. Thank you, Caitlin, for sharing your experience. And that is a very difficult experience, losing someone you thought you would spend your life with to divorce, to death, to some other, to illness, to whatever it is. It is a very, I can't imagine the pain that you guys have gone through, and at the same time, I see so many of you who are so strong, who are living like a better life in a way, and you guys have done the work and you are stronger internally from that experience. You learned about your own capabilities. Maybe earlier you thought that I can't do this, I need my partner always to do that. And now you learn that I can handle all of that, that I, was depending on someone else for. It's not that you know, I don't need someone, but I would like someone. So maybe you discovered your own capability, you discovered your support system. So maybe something came out of it. And maybe right now, when you are in it, you can't see it. But maybe later on, you would reflect on it and you would be like, okay, I was really strong. Okay, I've done so much. I have made so much progress. And I'm so proud of myself for handling all of that so much better. So thank you, Rose and Caitlin, for sharing, um, like from your experiences after a time. It really helps put things into perspective. It really helps give hope to the ones who are right now experiencing it. So thank you, both of you. Thank you. Okay, let's take a deep breath in. We The space got a little heavy, which is okay, but yeah, let's just. And if in case anyone is feeling unsettled or is feeling dysregulated right now, and if you need more of the regulation than just 3 deep breaths, then I have certain resources. You can like pause this live and go to them. You can come back and watch the recording or just join back again when you feel more settled. So yeah, feel free to go through them so that you know you give yourself the care, feel make your system feel safe again to be here. um okay, and before I open the wheel, let me show you where you can like find those resources in case you're new to me. So you will find them like on my profile when you go to the home section, and when you scroll down at the bottom, so there are these like 5 playlists, and the second one which says nervous system regulation techniques and tools, you can check that out, and you will find you can just try one of them and see if that helps you feel more regulated. So yeah. Okay, now for our last reading today, again bring to. Okay, now I'm seeing. So earlier I saw 12, 12, then I saw 20, 24, 24. Now I'm seeing 48, 48. There is something interesting going on my screen. Okay. So I'm like, okay, let's go with, let's search what is the message that wants to come through 48, 48. Because I ignored 24, 24. Like I didn't did a reading for it here with you. Okay, so now the message for anyone who needed to hear this is from angel number 4848. So it is a powerful cosmic sign that your hard work, discipline, and integrity are about to manifest into lasting financial and material abundance. It encourages you to trust the universe and maintain a strong, grounded foundation to achieve your ultimate goals. So, that is the message for anyone who is, who has this goal of financial security, independence, or something in relation to that. And now, for our final reading, bring to your mind anything you need guidance on as we spin the wheel. Okay, so the book that came for all of us is A Tree in a Forest. And this book has been written by Ajahn Chah. So He is a famous spiritual teacher. And now let me open the book and see what wants to come through. So, this book is like a collection of metaphors, similes, that Ajahn Chah used. And give me a second to pick some numbers so that we can play a game together. So, my dear ones, I invite you guys to pick a number between 18 to 116. Here you go. So, for the ones who are new, just see which number pops up first in your mind, share it in the comments. I will go through all your comments and pick the number that I am feeling intuitively called to. So, here you go. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you, Kay. Anyone else who is called to share a number? Ah, thank you, Rosetta. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Yarira. Thank you, David. Thank you, Shiva. Anyone else who feels called to share a number? Okay, then let's go with the numbers that are here in the comments. Thank you, Susan. Okay, let's see. Mm, Caitlin says, so I thought 99 after typing 101 again. Okay, interesting. Because I was also feeling called to 99 and 100. So let's see if there is a reading that wants to come that is maybe on both of these page numbers. Because sometimes the reading is like divided. So let me see what is on page number 99. Oh, and it is. Okay. So, okay. So, like, you know, half the reading is on this 99 page, and then the half the reading is here. So the heading is monkey. So that, as I said, these are similes, okay? So listen to them and see what message arise for you, because even when I do a reading, different things strike for different people, or even if we read the same thing after a different time, different thing appears. So we always get the message that we need. So see what is the message that comes up for you when I read this particular simile. So again, the heading is monkey. Okay. Caitlin says, with your giggle, my initial thought was cheeky little monkey. Okay. Thank you for making me laugh, Caitlin. Hmm. So, so the heading is cheeky little monkey. And the author says, when we know that it is the nature of the mind to be constantly changing, we will understand it. We have to know when the mind is thinking good and bad, that it's changing all the time. If we understand this, then even while we are thinking, we can be at peace. For example, suppose at home you had a pet monkey. Monkeys don't stay still for long, that's for sure. They like to jump around and grab onto things. That's how monkeys are. Now you come to the monastery and see the monkey here. This monkey doesn't stay still either, does it? It jumps around too, but it doesn't bother you. Why doesn't it bother you? Because you are raising a monkey yourself, so you know what they are like. If you know just one monkey, no matter how many provinces you go to, no matter how many monkeys you see, you won't be bothered by them because you are someone who understands monkeys. If we understand monkeys, then we won't become like a monkey. If we don't understand monkeys, we may become like one ourselves. When we see it reaching for this and that, we shout, hey, we get angry. But if we understand the nature of monkeys, we will then see that the monkey at home and the monkey at the monastery are just the same. Why should we get annoyed by them? When we see what monkeys are like, that's enough. We can be at peace. That was more like a straightforward simile. It was not too complicated, and I loved it. It was funny. It was wise. So everything that this space stands for, fun and wisdom. And yeah, if you feel called to share anything that is coming up for you from that reading, fun or wisdom, you can do that in the comments. And before I, read David's comment that appeared here, let me quickly share something that fits this particular reading. Give me a second where it is. So so this reading obviously was about our nature of our mind and like straightforwardly maybe some other message arrived for you, but yeah, how our mind jump on from one idea to the next, one thought appears in the next, and so on and so forth. And if we understand it, if we truly know it, we will have peace even while we are thinking because we understand it. So if you want to um experientially understand the nature of your mind, you can give this particular track a try. This is amongst my like most popular tracks, and I hope that you will find this um you will like it. So yeah, you can give it a try if you feel called. Okay, David says, my wife's birth animal is a monkey and it's her birthday on Monday. Firstly, a very happy birthday to your lovely wife, David. And I wonder what she will have to say if she would have read this comment from you. Caitlin says, kiddo is a monkey. Hmm, you guys are calling a lot of people monkeys here. Ha. And it does occur to me. Okay, 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 by the Chinese zodiac. Okay, got it wrong. But hmm, okay, now I get it. Hmm. So by Chinese zodiac. Otherwise, they're very, very peaceful. Okay. Yeah, actually, when I was reading it, it occurred to my mind, like not just monkeys. When we think about babies, it might be the same thing. Like they also do certain things sometimes that are like irritating and that are also cute at the same time. So yeah. Thank you, both of you, Caitlin and David, for that lovely share, for inviting fun and laughter into the space, at least into, my world. I appreciate both of you. I really needed that. I really, really needed that. So thank you, both of you. Okay. So I guess This is the perfect way to wrap this particular live. Um, David says, "Thank you. I'm actually a tiger, but definitely more like a monkey." Huh, okay, by nature. By birth, a tiger. Interesting. Okay. I also use this monkey symbol a lot, so maybe I'm a monkey too. Like I use this monkey emoji, this one, a lot, way more than I should. Okay. So, my lovely, amazing group of people, before I end this live, I wanted to share two things with you. Okay, before that, let me go through Caitlin's comment, which says, I have had the privilege and pleasure of visiting a local monastery, and the visuals of the monkey being a little monkey that was cute. Oh, lovely. So there are a lot of monkeys here, like a lot. And I always get irritated with them because so we have like plants on my terrace and they usually what they do is like they destroy everything when they come. So they come up in a group and they are like very frequent. They can come up anytime. So they are very like very much here. So yeah, so they destroy everything and they're like I'm like, okay, if you want to eat a fruit, eat it, but they destroy it and they don't use it. I'm like, okay, use it, that's okay. But don't destroy everything. So yeah, that really irritates me. And then this reading might be an indication that something like that might be going to happen this week. And then I need to accept the nature that they are monkey and they are going to do all of that. So David says it was a lovely reading. I enjoyed it and could really relate to it. I'm glad, David, that it resonated. And to which part? Monkey part? Okay. So Caitlin says, I'm imagining they are like the equivalent to our chipmunks and squirrels. So yeah, there are squirrels also a lot here, not chipmunks. Um, but yeah, I've seen like there are a lot of squirrels outside, I think in USA. They are like that here. It is like we can share the space. You don't need to wreck the joint. Exactly. Exactly my point. Exactly. I find squirrels really, really cute. So I think they don't wreck much things here because there are a lot of other animals that wreck things here that are very common in India. So yeah. So when I see them, I'm like, I love watching them eat like, nuts and stuff. So yeah, I love watching them eat that. Um, okay. So thank you, Caitlin, for sharing that. And now, two things that I wanted to share with you guys before we end this, which is, um, okay. So the first thing, um, is that if you have joined this live late and if you enjoyed the space and if you want to watch this again, then this is getting recorded and you can access it by going to my profile, by going to the About section there. You can read about me if you want to, if you are new to me. So when you scroll down, you will see something like this, and here you will find the recording of this live, all the previous episodes. So this is I think 207th episode of Wheel of Wisdom. So you will find everything here and some other, resources that I've created for you. So you will find them here as well. Although it does take like 30 minutes for this video to get uploaded. So if you want like immediate access to the readings that we have done today, like the name of the books or the readings, then you can go to my profile on the home section, which is what opens, um, and you can scroll down. Let me put my profile here. I will read your comment in a while, Caitlin. Yeah. So and everyone's comment. You guys can pour in if you want to. But I'm just going to quickly share some things for the ones who just joined us, who are new. So yeah, I was sharing where you can find, the summary. So when you scroll down on the home page, by the way, there's like a new feature if you don't know on Insight Timer, which is videos. So you might find videos here. So if you haven't checked them out, you can check them out here. Um, yes, scrolling down, and this is a new track that got released today. So most of you guys know about it and have really loved this series from what I have watched. So there was this series that I started where I shared the most common negative thoughts that people have, and I shared like 3 to 5 minutes talk or like a soothing embrace in a way. And in those talks, they're designed to soothe you and to also leave you with a perspective shift with like a hopeful heart. So I hope that if you know, have this particular thought which got released today that I'm a failure, then I think you might like this track. And there are some other thoughts that I have like shared. And I have already recorded like I think 11 more tracks which I'm going to release now. The next one that I will release would be, if this doesn't work out, I will have nothing left. So, something like that, because this is also a common thought and was also something that emerged from today's live. So, I've already recorded it. I will edit it and submit it today. So, it would be released this week. So, yeah. um, so, yeah, all the latest tracks, you can check them out. So I've arranged them. So the thing that I wanted to share with you was that I have increased the number of playlists. So earlier there were 4 playlists. Now I have added this fifth one. Okay. So now the playlists are Mindfulness Meditation Challenge. It contains like all the free tracks and a whole challenge if you want to start being more mindful. Then there is this nervous system regulation tools and techniques playlist, which which is I think the second most popular playlist, and I'm going to add many more tracks in this playlist, and I will organize them by feelings. I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to update the past latest release tracks and the future ones. So when you're feeling a certain way, you can open this playlist and check that feeling and do that particular nervous system regulation technique so that you feel more regulated, so that your body feels safe, so that you get the down regulation or the up regulation or whatever it is that you need based on your state. Because when you are feeling low, you don't need a more relaxing technique, you need a more uplifting kind of technique. So, and the same way for the when you're having a high energy emotion like anxiety or anger, you need a more down regulating. So I will arrange them so you know when to use what technique. So if you haven't already, you can save this playlist so that when I release more tracks, I'm going to release like 100 tracks. So like for 100 different feelings. So we'll have what you need when you need it. And then there was this playlist from which I have shared a track, which is Little Reminders for You. So this is more of a negative thought series, which contains like 3 to 5 minute tracks. And what I shared, related to like reassuring, hopeful, perspective shifting, and all of that. So you can give it a try and see if you like it. So you can save that as well if you struggle with negative thoughts or overthinking or stuff like that. Because I'm going to share the most like popular tracks, most popular, most common negative thoughts that people struggle with, like I'm not good enough, what if something goes wrong, what if I make the wrong decision and stuff like that. There's something wrong with me. So I've already included these tracks and more are coming if you are new. And the final one that I added today was this therapy tools and techniques. So, as some of you know, in this season 3 of Wheel of Wisdom, I started guiding practices. So, the guided practice that I did before the readings. So, in that, I started sharing with you guys certain therapy techniques. So, when you're facing a problem, you can simply open this playlist and see if for that particular problem I have a technique available, because I'm going to add more and more techniques there. So you can check it out and just, apply this so you feel more, so you move from the problem state to a more solution state, and you have the right technique when you need it. So again, I'm trying to release all the tools, so that when you are in a low state, when you are struggling, you have the tools, you know where to go, what to find it, where to find it. So yeah, these are the 5 playlists I have. If you like them, you can, save them, so that whenever I'm going to upload much more content now. So when I do, it all gets saved in one place, and when you're feeling low, you can just open one and just do what you need. uh yeah. And I also have certain courses, you can go through them. I have like 7 courses so you can check them out. They're related to negative thoughts and mindfulness, like how to live a more mindful life. But coming back to the original thing that I was talking about, which is where you can find the summary of this life. So when you scroll down on the homepage only, when you scroll down at the bottom, you will see this group which is called World of Wisdom. And here I share the summary of each live within like 5 or 10 minutes of that live ending. So you can either search for this particular group in the search box and filtering it by group, or you can go to my profile, scroll to the bottom, and you will find the group. And you can join this group because there are, I think, yeah, 133 beautiful beings that are a part of it. And I upload like summaries so you don't miss out on anything, any announcement that I have, anything new that I'm doing. So yeah, this is my way to stay connected with you guys. And I would love to have you there. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you. So, if you're new to me, don't forget to go through my playlists and my courses, and you will find everything there organized. And I'm going to organize it even more now. I'm going to change the title so it becomes more easier for you guys to navigate. So, yeah, I hope that helps. Okay. So, yeah, I missed certain comments, which was, yeah, Caitlin mentioned. Let me drink some water and then I'll read it. Yeah, so Caitlin says, yeah, here they can, woodpeckers too. Different animals, new senses, fun convo. Yeah, it was. It really was. I think we haven't laughed this much in any of the lives. So thank you, both of you, Caitlin and David, for, making me laugh and making other people laugh, I think, as well. And I think I've never watched a woodpecker. Like on TV I have, on phone I have, but yeah, not in real life. So I would love to. Even though I think they would make a lot of noise. So I think we have a lot of pigeons here, some sparrows here, and eagles, and to say crow. Crows are less. So that's about the um flying in the flying genre. Okay, David says, we both have ADHD and are artists living in total chaos. That sounds so familiar and just like our home. Ah, David. Oh, okay. And there's, okay, one more comment by David. David says, for anyone who hasn't tried the links before, Anisha has a whole encyclopedia of wonderful tracks available on there. And I'm finding that there is everything I need easily accessible when I need it. Thank you, Anisha. Oh, that this made this meant a lot of l- this meant a lot to me, David. Really, especially that line that that there is everything I need easily accessible when I need it. That's what I guess the space is about. That's what everything I offer is about, that you receive the guidance and the support that you need in that moment, that you find it, that you have it, so you don't feel like lost or, you know, helpless or any of that. So I want to do that. That is like my intention. So it really means a lot to me that you felt that way. And thank you so much for your contribution. You know, it really helps me. These contributions helps me to keep this going, to publish more, to be here. So thank you for just supporting my work. It really means a lot. And for those of you who, you know, can't donate, that's there's like another way in which you can support my work, support me. You can simply listen to my content, like especially premium one. That helps me sustain it for even more. But yeah, any content, you know, it really it would mean a lot because I poured my heart into creating these. So it would mean so much to me if you just check it out. Even just check it out, even if don't listen, just check it out and see if if you find a track, if you find a playlist, if you find a course that you know that resonates with you. So that in itself would mean a lot. That would be, you know, an amazing way to support me, to support this. David says, when I started doing yoga, I was told that letting go is the hardest asana, and that is very true, but also very freeing when it can be achieved. And laughing is a wonderful way to start. Definitely, definitely. We let, I don't know, the mask just falls away and we are just being ourselves. Like in our laughs, there is like a little child visible. So I love that. Thank you, David, for sharing that, you know, that beautiful piece of wisdom and maybe also a reflection as to what happened here. So thank you so much for your shares, for your presence. I appreciate you guys so, so much. And I bow down to the divine within you all. May you all be safe. May you all be happy. May you all feel loved. May you all live with ease. Thank you. And I hope to see you soon. I haven't scheduled my next live yet because of certain complications that is happening within my family yet. Things I haven't sorted. My mom is not having a smooth recovery. There are a lot of things happening. So I haven't scheduled the next live, but I hope to see you in the one that I do. So if you are not following me, you can follow me so you get notified when that live comes up. Because usually when things are were okay 2 months ago. So till then I was doing live on alternate days and I would love to continue that. So yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Matt, for being here. Bye guys. Take care and explore my content, please.